Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is going to be a rather interesting battle, and probably a first actually on YouTube for World of Tanks. We've got a battle in two parts because somebody crashed. Well, you're looking at a 212A, it's a tier 9 Soviet SPG. It's being commanded by Cream-72, and the last time you saw this vehicle, he was killing it on Arctic region, did an absolutely fantastic shotgun, and certainly the enemy paid the price and they won the game. But, well, he's actually playing this game on cliff. He's on the south spawn, and the first target's coming to the site. It's an AMX 1390, but he managed to get into the western pass in time, and so Cream-March couldn't hit him. What's going to actually happen in this game is his game is going to crash. And he's having a really good game. A really good game. And he was absolutely heartbroken that he'd lost this great recording. But he had two files in his system and he thought, well, if they both recorded as replays, I wonder if I could put the two together. And he contacted me. And he sent me both files. And I'm going to try and splice both parts of the battle together so you can see exactly what he managed to get. And he's aiming for a Type 61 up on the hill, on the pass, trying to get up to the top of the hill. He fires the round in. Big hit, penetrating shot, got a fire. It looks like a premium fire extinguisher went off because he only managed to get 82 hit points from the fire. But I think that Type 61 is badly damaged because he lost 992 hit points from that shot. Now, Cream-72's got the 203mm B4 howitzer with 1050 alpha penetrating 52mm of armor. So he easily went through the Type 61 and it's got a burst radius of 10.9 meters. And he's just smacked that AMX 30 for another 240. Now you notice he's relocating after every shot because there is an enemy Arty, and that Arty is an M53, M55, and he doesn't want to give that guy an easy kill. Going for the AMX 30 again. It's fairly easy. When they behave like this, you can actually hit them quite nicely. Okay, he's got the AMX 30 in his sights, fires the round in. And he kills the Type 61. He was alongside the AMX 30, as well as dealing another 459 hit points to the AMX 30 himself. So he's got his first kill. Now, many players like the 212A, mainly because it has vents, just like the M53, M55, the tier 9 American. It can carry vents, which means you get a boost in performance in the crew. And if you combine that with vents purge as well, then you can greatly reduce the reload time. Now he's looking for a suitable target, and I think he's found one. There's an IS-7 there, and he's getting a request for fire on that particular target. Now he's stationary at the moment, but he's put it exactly where he thinks the IS-7 is going to be, and if he was close, yes, he did take some damage. Look, he's down to 54% now, and he's been stunned. So he did get something off that IS-7. Looking back to the western pass, we've got a Martian and a Wizzy 111 Model 14. The Martian's been killed by the STB-1. And oh, the STB-1 tried to get behind the wreck of the Martian, but he wasn't quick enough. The Wizzy 111 Model 14 killed him, but Cream-March fires a round in, which damages the 14, and the 277 takes him out. He did stun the 277 in the process, but yeah, I don't think he's worried about that. And I don't think that our player would be worried about that too. The 277 probably shake it off. Okay, right up on around the hill, we've got a TVP T5051. Now, they've got particularly thin armor, and he's taking fire from somebody up on the hill, and he fires the round in just as the TVP is killed. He would have taken that kill, but now he's going after the STB-1 that was nearby. Unfortunately, our guy on top of the hill was killed. We had an AMX 1390 up there. That was the one that was hitting the TVP. And an AMX 30 went up that hill. It's the same AMX 30 that Cream-March 72 hit earlier. And he killed the 1390, which means that that STB now is no longer being hit from the hill. But Creammarch is going to see if he can do something about that AMX-30. It's a difficult shot. He's in the pathway leading up to the top. He's loaded, ready to go. Just needs the AMX to move into spot. He does. Oh yes, what a shot! That's a penetrating round, no doubt about that. I reckon the AMX-30 got that right on the side, and that's his second kill of the game, and it was a very good one. And that means they've got no spotter up on the hill anymore, and it means one of our guys could go up there if they wanted to, but they probably won't. Okay, he's marked the target on the STB-1, and he's getting a request for fire from the Leopard Prototype A up in the TD nest. Rounds out in the STB. Direct hit, 264. It hit the frontal armour. That's probably the reason why it's so low. The shot on that AMX-30 was right onto the side armour. He's very weak on the side armour, the AMX-30, which is why it was a penetrating round. And we'll check that in the results at the end. In fact, actually, no, we can't check it in the results. But Creammarch, I think he was doing something else there at that moment, but he's now lining up a shot on the STB-1. Fires the round in and just misses him, but 122 hit points of splash. And we must be getting fairly close to the point at which this game crashes. But he's now going very defensive near his cap. Of course, he's trying to stop counter battery by being in that little spot. Actually, you can see the mark where the round hit the front of the STB. It did actually hit the turret. There's a little yellow stain on the turret. Oh, and that one landed behind him, but it tracked him. And he's had to burn his repair kit to get back into cover. Otherwise, the Leopard Prototype would have had a go. We've got a Tortoise going up the hill. He should be able to have a go at that STB as well. But we've lost sight of him temporarily, and I think the reason why is the Leopard Prototype on our team is being hit by the enemy Arty. And he's very low on hit points now. There's the STB. We're lined up. Just waiting for the load. It's in, rounds out, and it hits the STB on the side, but he survived. He lost 382 hit points. And that 60 TP is trying to spot for his team. He's also trying to get a shot on the Leopard Prototype. The STB is being killed by our Leopard. And the Tortoise is coming up behind the 60 TP. We're not loaded yet, but I think that 60 TP is about to get a new posterior. Or at least, I think the Tortoise is about to drill him a new rectum. We're loaded. Rounds out. And that's a kill. That's 3 kills. It wasn't the Tortoise who drilled him, it was Creammarch. Okay, so they're now 1 tank up on the enemy. There's only 4 left on the enemy team. We're probably getting fairly close to the crash point. Of course, when it did crash, his tank was immobile for that period of time, I'm afraid. Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, low on armour, very easy to pen. He's loaded, he's ready. Just needs to get the right spot. Rounds out. And that's a kill. That's definitely a penetrating shot. 1,033 hit points of damage. That's a good roll. IS-7 sitting above on the cliff above our near our cap area. Jagdtiger to the north, and they've only got the Arty. The Jagdtiger's taking damage from our team. The Heshbahn and the Jagdtiger. And the Jagdtiger on the enemy team's been tracked, and he's side on. If Creammarch can get a round into him right now, he's going to have a very bad day. Rounds out. Direct hit. He got set on fire. Premium fire extinguisher went off. And he's out of the game. He got hit by the other guys at the same time. So now there's only the IS-7 and the M53, M55. Tortoise is on his way. We're almost loaded. 5 minutes 32 seconds left. The IS-7's running away. It looks like he was tracked. Creammarch is going to put a round in there. Lining it up. Rounds out. Right onto his engine deck. 438 hit points. That puts him at 5.5k, near enough 5.6k of damage. And we lose the tortoise. Our Heshbon's moving into the Western Pass. We've got the 50 TP just around the corner. The Jagdtiger's come back to the cap area to defend it, just in case the IS-7 tries to make an approach. He might also try to shoot if he comes to the cliff edge. Four minutes 25 seconds left on the clock. There's only 2 enemies remaining. They're outnumbered 2-1. Now the game's probably going to crash very shortly. Still no sign of the IS-7. It looks like he's retreated back to his cap area. There he is. Ooh, the Heshbon takes a big shot. And we fire a round in at the IS-7 and splash the IS-7 for 256, and he kills the Heshbon with one more round. He's now a splash kill. So Cremanche could take the final kill of the game, and at that point it crashes. So I will reconnect this game in momentarily through the magic of an edit, and you will see the completion of the battle. And we're back in the battle with Cremanche, and he's now got the 50 TP facing off against the IS-7. He's loaded. He's back in the game. He fires. And he kills the IS-7. So we lost the 53 TP. We lost the Heshbon. Now we've got the Jagdtiger. And we've got Cremanche 72 in his 212A back in the game after a computer crash. And yes, he's fighting. He's still fighting. And he's doing what Arty Noobs members do most of the time. He's going into battle and driving into battle. He's propelling himself forward to take on the enemy Arty face to face if he has to take him out of the game. Now the Jagdtiger's moving towards the enemy cap, but Cremanche, well, he's driving straight forward. We don't know where the enemy Arty is, but some of the other players are indicating they think he's in grid square A4. And of course the player who's indicating the most is the Leopard prototype, and he was the one who was constantly being hit by the enemy Arty, so he should know because he's probably worked out the direction that the guy was firing from. So Cremanche is working on his cues and going towards that spot. A4. Okay, just need the Jagdtiger to show us, and the Jagdtiger's driving the long way around. He's going off into the village. And the clock is now ticking. It's, well, 51 seconds. Cremanche fires around into that area. The Jagdtiger is now going in the right direction. Cremanche is propelling himself forward to get to the enemy cap so he can spot them. And the Jagdtiger can then finish them off. And oh, he's doing that thing with the mouse again. That's why I have to take control of this battle. Oh, he's been spotted. The enemy Arty found him, saw him, and there he is. He's up on top of the hill. He is up there. Line him up. He's up in the TD area. There we go. And he's now been located. Cremanche takes a round and gets him and wins the game and gets the top gun to boot. That is really good play, and it was a computer crash as well. Would you believe that? He had everything to happen to him in this game. What a game that was. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker, but Creamage 72 in the 212A. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17 in this one. He got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. He got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. He got 6 exactly, and he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And he certainly hit a lot of the enemy. And if we just look at the scores on some of these tanks that he hit, he did 1,162 hit points of damage to the AMX 30 Premier Prototype. He did another 1,382 hit points to the IS-7. So he did most of the damage to that guy. He did 910 hit points of damage to the SDB-1. And of course that Type 61, 1,206 hit points of damage. So he was absolutely hammering these guys. And here's another one, 1,033 hit points. That was a penetrating shot. That was a penetrating shot. And the 60 TP, well, he only did 186 hit points of damage to him. But yes, he certainly was effective during that game. Let's have a look at the team scores. He did get the highest damage. Look at that, 6,992 hit points. The only player who was close to him was the IS-7 on the enemy team with 5,163, a full nearly 2,000 hit points less. Well, not quite 1,800, but it's still a lot less. And when it came to the next highest scorer, that in fact was the STB-1 on his own team with 3,799. And well, that is a very, very small score when you look at that one. When it came to kills, he definitely had the highest on his team, but he didn't have the highest overall because the IS-7 also got 6 kills, but it does put him at the top of the table alongside the IS-7. And when it came to base XP, yes, he definitely got the top with that. So technically, he's got the top on all 3 columns. 1,597 base experience points. The only player to get over 1,000. That's an emphatic ace tanker. No problem about that at all. The Leopard 1 managed 867. The Object 277, 831. He fired 19 rounds, got 11 direct hits and 3 penetrations in that game, 18 splash, damage of 6,992 hit points, of which 6,542 were at more than 300 meters, so he was very close to the M53, M55 when he finally took him out. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage from the M53, M55, who was fairly unlucky actually not to take out Creamage with 1 shot, but I think it's because he wasn't as good a player as Creamage, and that's probably why he fluffed it. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed. Oh, he spotted the M53, M55, that was his single spot. 1,767 hit points of stun assist of 12 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 53,011 credits from that game, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 12,543 credits. He received 1,597 XP, got 6,388 from personal missions payout, took away 7,985 experience points altogether. But what a great battle, and what a surprise to be sort of like cut off halfway through when the game crashed and he had to re-enter again. I think he must have been panicking, thinking, oh my god, what's going to happen to this game afterwards? And am I going to come back and find that we've lost the game after all the effort and work he put into that battle? But he did come back. They did win it. In fact, his shot was the one that won the game, and we were able to splice these bits of the battle together to give him a full replay. And it's not the first time somebody's done it. I know they've done it before. I know that Quickie Baby and Jingles have probably done it as well, but we're probably the only ones who can do it on a regular basis, and we'd be quite happy to do that for somebody who's had a really great game and they thought they'd lost it. Well, they didn't, because we can put it back together. We can rebuild him. We have the technology and all that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed that battle as much as I did, and I'm sure Creamage 72 is going to really enjoy this replay again because he did so well in it. And if you enjoyed the battle, thank you very much for watching.